Hi there everybody and welcome back. It is our fourth session of today. So it's our third card making session, and this time we are going to be using the Sparkle of the Season bundle. So for those of you who've been with me all day, welcome back. For those of you who may be joining me for the first time today, welcome. We're doing our online launch party today, which is celebrating the launch of Stampin' Up's new autumn-winter mini catalogue and celebration. So if you've missed them, I've done a live catalogue walkthrough earlier on this morning, and I've also done some crafting sessions, making cards. So just to give you a reminder, so these are some of the cards that we were making today. So this was in my first crafting session. This is Celebration. And then the session we did about an hour ago was the Gorgeous Leaves, which is my number one recommendation from the new catalogue. Hi Doreen, welcome. Thank you for sharing. And now we're going to be playing with my next favourite, which is Sparkle of the Season. Then we'll take a little bit of a break, and we have bingo tonight at 8 o'clock. So again, I know a number of you have already shared your numbers. So all you need to do to join in is it's free to join. You just need to tell me, pick 5 numbers between 1 and 25 and join me here at 8 o'clock. And there'll be bingo, there'll be prizes, there'll be crafting, chat, lots and lots of fun. So if you're watching me live, just leave me a comment so I know you're here. If you're watching me on the replay, also leave me a comment. I will go back and check them all out. So before we get started, let me just check that I am where I'm supposed to be. You'll have noticed the eagle-eyed amongst you that I've had a number of posts go live on my page today. So it's a slightly different format to my normal scavenger hunt. These are just some fun, quizzy questions. And so for each one of those posts, so there's one about when you start your crafting for Christmas. There's one, excuse me, about tagging a friend. And there's another one about... What was the other one about? About what's at the top of your shopping list. So for each of those posts tonight during bingo, all of the respondents to those posts I will draw, and each one will win a mystery prize. So if you haven't done so already, do get commenting. Check it out. Go back through the page. Make sure that you've got all your comments in there. It's interesting that I asked the question, when do people start making their Christmas cards? And it's interesting that most people are like me. Generally, when it comes to Christmas, not just crafting, don't really do the Christmas thing until Halloween's out of the way. I know it's in the shops and there's all sorts of stuff happening beforehand. And here we're looking at Christmas stuff. But generally speaking, I don't go to Christmas until after Halloween. So it's useful to know that you guys are kind of in the same place as me. So what that tells me is that I'll be focusing on projects not Christmas for the next little while, which is great because, again, I'm not really into the Christmas thing. But come October, November, I will be all about Christmas, and I'll have lots and lots and lots of Christmas card ideas for you. But as I said to you, when the catalogue came out, I was a bit... It's July, I'm not ready for Christmas, but I was pleasantly surprised at how much in there is actually not Christmas. So there's plenty to be going on with and playing with until now. And I think so far, if I'm not mistaken, none of these cards that we've made so far are Christmas. So we're doing well so far. So there's plenty to inspire you. So as I say, this is my second favourite bundle because I love these wreaths. So I like the fact that we've got 3 different ones. We've got the traditional Christmas one with the ferns and some holly leaves. We've got the leaf one, and then we've got the star one, which we actually used earlier on one of these cards. So it's a beautiful little die, and you can see you can use it for anything. It's supposed to be Halloween, and it's got a little bat here and a pumpkin and a broomstick, but again, don't really do Halloween. So yeah, so let's get going, shall we? Let me just get myself up so I can see. Hi Sue, thank you for sharing, that's great. Okay, so let's see. So for our first card, we're just going to do a little bit of stamping. So let's put the dies to one side for a minute. So I've got a Knight of Navy card base, and then I've got grey granite, one piece for the inside and one piece for the outside. And then I've got a strip here of navy. So I'm just going to trim my grey very, very slightly so it's the same width as the navy. I've got about 1 millimetre of difference here. A little bit more. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is on this one, we're going to do some, not masking, but you'll see in a moment. So I'm just going to line this piece up. Okay, and I'm just going to make a light pencil mark on either side. Okay, can you see that? This is just to give me an idea. And now I'm going to do some embossing on this. So, I have the wrong embossing powder. I need silver. So, we're going to bring out our biggest wish stamp set. As I said to you before, this is in the main catalogue and it is just, I love it. It's great, great sentiment. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line it up along my strip. Now, that's not long enough, so just bear with me a second. I'm going to grab some more navy. Okay, so I want the same width, so let's grab my trimmer. So this piece is 3.5. So I want the split to be 3.5. And I want it to be 14. Okay, just checking my measurements here. So I want it to be 10. Cut it a little bit. And that's a little bit crooked, so let me just make sure. There we go. Okay, let's try that again. So we'll take our happy birthday. Now it fits on our strip. Got sticky fingers. Yeah, and then I'm just going to pick it up with my block. I'm going to emboss this in silver. So I think I've embossed in every one of the sessions today, just for consistency. But to be honest, you never really have enough embossing, in my opinion. Alright, let's ink this up well. We want plenty on here because this is a really solid image. accidentally touched my piece before I was ready to stamp. So I'll just flip it over and do the other side to be a bit more decisive. There we go. Hi Kat, welcome. There we go. And then let's pop our silver on there. So this is going to be a kind of a masculine card. Okay. There we go. Alrighty. Let's get our heat tool. Let's warm it up slightly before we bring it to our card. Particularly, as I said, this is quite a solid image that we're working with here. There we go. Oh, look at that. And there it goes. Magic! This is for you, Lynn. I know how much you love this. Well, I think we all love it, really, don't we? I've been doing this for more than a decade now, and it still catches me every time. There we go. Done. Excuse me, I'm just taking a drink of tea. Which my son Rupert very kindly made for me just before I went live. Alright, so let's put those away. So now let's grab our stamps. I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. So we've got quite a collection of images here. So I'm going to use this leaf, the large leaf, this cute little piece, and we've got some leaves here. Ready? And then the colours we're going to use are, let me just grab them here. So we want some grey granite and some basic grey, a bit of night of navy, and I think we probably want some cherry cobbler just for a splash of colour. So I'm just trying to see if I can see it. Where is it on my, there it is. There's some cherry cobbler. So I really like this. I think this is a lovely colour combination, great male colour combination. Alright, so let's put these on blocks. Right, so we're going to start with some light colour. So normally, hi Diane, welcome back. That's all right, you can pick me up and drop me as you please. I'm here all day. You can continue watching when you're ready. So normally when I'm doing something like this, what I try and do is I try and do my larger images in my lighter colours and then just work it that way. So I'm going to start with the grey granite. And then we're just going to do some stamping off. Okay. So I don't need to fill it in completely because obviously I've got other images to add. There we go. Okay, and don't worry, it will look a mess until we're done. So keep going. Then we take our next largest image, which is these flowers. No, they're just leaves. Okay, and then I'm just going to add these in, and again, we're just going to create, we kind of stamp 2 or 3 times to create that texture. Further out. Okay, I'm just going to add a little one there and a little one there. Okay, so next we've got this one, which I'm going to stamp in Night of Navy. So I'm just going to okay, and it's going to work like this, so you can see where we're going with this. So now I'm going to take my cherry cobbler. I'm going to take this set of leaves and just because this is a darker colour and it's a relatively solid image, I can just add on top of what I've already stamped. Okay, I love having these little images. There we go. And then if we think we need a little bit more filling in, I can take one of the other, this image here, and then we've got our grey granite, and we can stamp off and just create some more texture. A bit here. I think we need a little navy one in here. So this is the danger point. I will tell you now, this is the point at which you need to know when to stop, because you could just keep on going very easily on this, and you don't want to do that. So there, I think that is good. So we'll close these up. Okay. And then I'm just going to erase my pencil line. There we go, and then we'll pop this up. I'm going to use my black dimensionals for this. Ooh, got hearts. Thank you. Lovely. And then we'll just pop that down. Okay, and then bring back in our card base. Now we've got our, before I do that, we've just got our inside. So I'm going to take this image and I'm going to stamp it in Night of Navy. In the corner like that. Okay, here we go. So then we'll just pop some dimensionals on the back here. You can see I've got half a dimensional there left over from a previous project, but I won't let that get in my way because I'm going to be popping this up anyway. Now let's make sure we put it on our card the right way around. we are. And then I think we need a little wink of Stella. So I'm just going to add some to some of the leaves. Just here and there. Okay, and let's here are inside. So now you could completely switch this up and do really, really bright colours, and it would work equally well. There, that's a nice masculine card. Now I do think it needs a little embellishing, so I'm going to grab our metallic dots, I think. Actually, I was going to do our metallics, but I don't think they're silver enough, so I'm just, I know what I'm going to grab. Nope. Just going to grab our regular rhinestones. And I'm just going to put a couple. Not any. So there we go, that's card number 1. Okay. Let's pop this away. Made quite a mess that time. So let's make some room here for our second card. So as I was saying to you, you could use a completely different sort of colour scheme to make it quite bright. My phone is buzzing. I just want to double check what's going on. Okay, fine. All right. So as I say, you could use something completely different. So what I've got here, this is old olive, and what I've done is I've die cut this here. Okay. So what I've done is I've die cut 2, one in pear pizzazz and one in old olive. So they're just slightly different colours. And then I had these flowers left over from a different project. This is from the Perennial Blooms die set, and these are some cute little flowers. I had those left over and I thought they'd look nice. And then I've just die cut some extra leaves. Okay, so we've got an old olive card base, and then a layer of pear pizzazz, and then a layer of white. Okay, so oops. And I'm also going to bring back in, I don't really want to use the, maybe I do, let's see if Grateful will fit on the piece I've got. Yep, there we go, so we've got Grateful. So this is going to be a thank you card, okay? So, tip here for your wreaths, it's always nice, it's always good to do 2 because it gives you extra fullness. So what I like to do is to line them up like so, and then just move them around so that the leaves are a little bit offset, so you just get much fuller, what's the word, wreath, I guess. Okay, and that's just going to go down there like that, so you can see the difference between having 1 and having 2. Okay, so, and having them 2 slightly different colours helps as well. Now I want my old olive on the top just because, and then for this, to adhere it down, I'm going to use my silicone matte trick. So you could do glue dots on the back of your leaves, but I just think this would be easier to do like so. So I've got my silicone matte, and I'm just going to put a doll of glue here, spread it out a little, and then I've got my sponge, which is a bit icky, but that's all right. I'm going to just spread out my glue, and then on the back, I've got a stray bit here. I'm going to focus my glue on the main part of the wreath because I do want the leaves to kind of stick up a little. Okay, so I'm just going to place that down like so. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same on my other wreath. So again, you just need to be careful when bringing your sponge back up that you don't tear your delicate die cut. Okay, so like we said, we line it up and then move it around slightly so that it's offset. There we go. Okay. And then we've still got our leaves popping up around the place for that dimension. Okay, and then we've got our 3 flowers. So I'm going to pop those on some mini dimensionals. You could use any flowers you like. I just happened to have these lying around, so I thought, why not? Might as well. So I'm just going to pop these here. I'm going to do it like that. I'm not pressing down hard because I might want to move them in a minute. We just pop them there. So now we'll bring our grateful in, and I'm going to stamp the sentiment in polished pink just to provide a pop of colour. Now my stamp is not straight. So sometimes with photopolymer stamps, especially long skinny ones, it's easy when you're pulling them off the paper to bend them. So the best thing to do is just pop them down on the paper like that and then pick it up with your block. Get this inked up nicely. And then there we go. Okay, so now you reach that stage. So this needs to be trimmed. Okay, and then I'm going to just do the flag on the end. There. Got some white baker's twine. No, what I want is crinkle seam binding ribbon. I'm going to make a bow. My fingers are sticky from the glue. Should have tied my bow first. Never mind. This is why I didn't stick these down fully, because I want to make sure that I'm happy with all of the positioning. I know this bow has to go on here. I just can't figure out where I want it. Help me out, ladies. What do you suggest? Top of the wreath, says Diane. Yeah, that could work. Looks a bit Christmassy though, for my liking. Whoa. No bow, says Lynn. That's also an option, isn't it? To the right of the greeting, says Sue. All right, I think I'm happy with that. All right. Just goes to show you how many different ways you can do this. So I'm going to pop this up. There we go. Pop that down. This one needs a dimensional because I pulled the other one off. Okay, this needs a glue dot. Okay, and then we've got a couple of extra leaves. Ooh, I've also got an extra glue dot. Okay, and then we're going to grab our pearls and add those to the centers of our flowers. Doesn't want to stick. Let's try this one. There, that's better. And that one. There we go. Okay. There we are. So now we'll just layer this onto our pear pizzazz. You can see I was playing with this to make it makes a nice background, doesn't it? There you go. Just another idea for you. Totally not wreathy. Oh, let's try and get that on there straight, shall we? There we go. And then let's pop this up. Let's see if I can finish my sheet of dimensionals. So I don't normally put two colours of green together, but I do like the way the Pear Pizzazz and the Old Olive work together. I think it's pretty. So there we go. Card number 2. Oh, lots of hearts. I think you're just glad I got to the end of it. Made my bloody mind up. Let's take me some more tea. Yes, there's nothing like a bow to confuse us all, is there, ladies? We could make a huge... We could do a card in 5 seconds. It's those final embellishments that we just faff with that takes us forever, isn't it? Who else does that happen to? All right, so I'm just trying to keep myself in order. So that's the second card. Now, for the third card, we are going to go full on autumnal. So I've done some preparation in advance. So just bear with me while I get my bits together. Working in the shadows, you're right. Where's the shadow coming from? Let's see, we've got the sun coming in, so let's see if I can do something about that. Does that help? Let's put some light on the subject. All right, is that better? There you go. Alrighty, excellent. Let's try not to move the camera too much. So, for this one, we start with a Merry Merlot card base, and then I have some crumb cake. Now, I've done my die cutting in advance, so I've cut 2 of the same wreath, but just in crumb cake this time. Okay, this piece is for the inside, and then this piece I had used it to die cut out another wreath, one of our swirly dies, but I thought what I'm going to do is that's going to be our card front, and I'm going to lay our wreath on top like that so it kind of peeps through, which I thought would be kind of cool. And I'm just going to grab, I'm going to do a bit more embossing. So this time I'm going to use some copper. So I'm going to use that Grateful image again. So let's do the embossing first before we get going. Okay, so we've got my strip of Merry Merlot, my special embossing paper. Okay, here we are, and stamp our Grateful in the center. So the reason I'm putting it in the middle is that it gives me options then when I'm placing it in my wreath. Okay. There we go. We've got a funny little shadow there, haven't we? I think that's from my blind. There we go. I'm not used to crafting in daylight. Alrighty. Let's grab our heat tool. There we go. Look at that. Can you see that? Alrighty. Okay, so next what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab some sponge daubers, is I've die cut some extra leaves. So I've got some copper here. Okay, and then I'm going to ink up. So the colours I'm using now are, this is Complete Autumn. So Cajun Craze, Crushed Curry, Pumpkin Pie and Merry Merlot. And I think I might do a dash of early espresso in there as well. Okay, so what I've done is let me just grab them here. I've just die cut some extra leaves in crumb cake. Okay. Don't know if you can see them there on my scrap paper. Okay, and I'm just going to take my sponge dauber and just ink them up in the different colours. You could do white, but I liked the crumb cake. I think it gave it a little bit more depth. So that's my Merry Merlot. Let's grab some more here. Just die cut a load. It's another. There we go. So let's do like a big one and a small one. This is where I get really inky fingers, which is why I've done this one last. Next we'll do some pumpkin pie. There we go. Okay. And then some crushed curry. Got a bit of orange on this one, but that's all right. Gonna have a bit of shading. Now, you could also die cut these out of different colours of cardstock, but I thought, ugh. I had to find all these little scraps, whereas what I've done is basically from the centre of here, like I did earlier on with the stars, I just die cut the leaves out of the centre of what was left over from cutting the wreath. There we go. And then let's do an early espresso. And then I think let's do a mossy meadow. We've got lots of different colours going on here. You don't have to do as many as this. And I'm going to have leftovers so I can use them for another project. There we go. Okay, so let's close these up. I'm going to leave the Merry Merlot out because what I'm going to do those over there. Okay, so I don't know if you can see on the side here, but I now have a gorgeous pile of coloured autumnal leaves. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this image, pop it on a block, and then again, just to add a little bit of extra texture to that centre, I'm going to take my Merry Merlot, I'm just going to stamp this in the middle. So I'm stamping off and rotating. Okay, alrighty, so now I'm going to actually pop this up. Ooh, I've used up all my big dimensional. 1 second. Alrighty. I'm going to put quite a few on here because I want this to be nice and secure. So this die from here is from the Painted Poppies. It's that swirl die, which is why I've got an uneven shape, but that doesn't matter, you just use a circle. Okay, make sure I've got my card the right way around. There we go. And then same thing as before, I'm going to line my branches up and then do that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, because I do want these stuck down, is I'm actually going to just put a tiny, I'm just using the edge of my piece here, just you can see, just got a tiny little bit of glue like that, and then I can just pop my wreath kind of into it like so. Okay, there we are, and then I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue at various stages, various points. Okay, and then we have our grateful is going to go across here like this, and then what we're going to do is grab our glue dots. So before I pop down the grateful, so I'm going to bring in our bits. So I've got my copper ones here, so I'm going to put those on first. Thought I had 4. Okay, we'll go with 3. So I'm going to put a copper one on the end here. And then I hope I don't spend too long faffing with these ones, ladies. We're just going to basically, first of all, take our glue dots and make sure they come with us. We just fill out our wreath. So you can add the leaves on top of the leaves that are already there, in places where there aren't currently leaves. going to pop this up first. Let's pop on. Yeah. I'm just going to work my way around the wreath. You can see I'm not being particularly careful about what colours go where. Just I've got a good mix, so I don't really need to worry. So it's not a difficult card, but it is a bit of a labour of love. But I think it's worth it. The other thing you could do is you could sponge the wreaths themselves to add a little bit extra colour if you wanted. Or you could die cut it. From a different colour. But I like the contrast with the light and the dark. Last one. That up there. No, I want it over here. This needs filling out a bit more. There we go, and then grab my linen thread. I'm just going to make a bow. Let's hope I don't have the same problem with the positioning of this bow as I did on the other one. Just going to pop it there. Glue dot. Okay. Then I'm going to take the inside, and I'm just going to take this little leaf here, and in the Mary Merlot. Just going to stamp that all along the edge. There we go. Just glue that down. Oop. And then there's one more thing that this needs. So I've got my crumb cake marker. It needs a little bit of spritzing. So I've just got my crumb cake marker. Flick the edge. There we go. So there we have it. Card number, that's the dimensional backing, card number 3. So let's bring our cards back in. It's time to vote. Let's make some room. So we've got card number 1, card number 2, and card number 3. So, ooh, got some hearts. Thank you, ladies. So, whilst you're voting, just let me remind you that we've got a little bit of a break now. So there's time for you to go and comment on those posts that I've put up so that you can be eligible to earn a prize. We start bingo at 8 o'clock tonight. If you haven't already done so, then do please make sure you send me comment on the post what 5 numbers you want to play tonight. We've got a number of prizes up for grabs. So I hope to see as many of you there as possible. As I said, we start at 8. We've got prizes, but we've also got some crafting. I found my other bronze or copper leaf, so I'm going to just stick that in there. There we go. So Diane says 3, 1, 2. Lynn says 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Looks like 3 seems to be the winner. So thank you for joining me. I hope you've been enjoying today. I certainly have. And I look forward to having some fun with you later on, 8 o'clock for bingo. Speak to you later. Bye.